Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new year hitting the field. I'm Cameron Forcier, host of the brand new show, The Combine. Today in our debut, we're going to talk Premier League with Perreti and Ezrah Hines, who is making his HTF debut. And then we're going to talk NFL with Kellie, Campbell, and Chmielarz, who is also making his HTF debut. Let's get started.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
So we are starting with footy. We are kicking off. Sorry for the terrible pun. We are kicking off the Combine with soccer. Perreti, second time on air. Ezrah Hines, debut. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ezrah Hines. I'm a Manchester City fan. It's my first time on. I should be more nervous, but I actually feel great. I love talking footy, so it makes it more fun for air, especially.
Keep the mic like in front of your face.
Gotcha. Sorry.
You're good. Go, Ron.
I feel great too. A second time being on the air, so happy that you chose me to talk about this segment today.
I know you talk footy. We're gonna get started. Premier League through match day 4. We're gonna go with surprising teams. Ron, Brighton, start it off.
They've been playing well. They played well last year, but this year it feels different. They've kind of gotten off to a better start. Their defense is good. I mean, the only goal they conceded was the own goal against Man United, but besides that, they've kept 3 clean sheets in a row. They just ended up beating Leeds last week. They're 4th on the table, so I think they're playing good. Graham Potter has that team playing some beautiful football at the moment.
Yeah, honestly, their team looks unbelievable right now. It's scary that they don't have like a star player, and they are as good as they are. I feel like one star player away, they are easily a European team. Like they easily are playing Champions League, Europa League up there. Because
Easily Champions League.
I mean, if they have a star striker, I'd say like Graham Potter's a good enough coach to get that team to the Champions League, especially over teams that aren't looking that great right now, especially some of the top 6 teams.
So
Yeah.
which team did they knock out?
I mean, there's teams like Manchester United, and then there's also teams like that are like fringe, like Arsenal and Chelsea right now. Like Arsenal's on good run. Chelsea hasn't really figured it out too well yet. So I mean, like if they did have a good striker this year, they probably would be making a better run right now.
You know Arsenal's gonna go invincible again, right?
That is really funny.
Okay. Anyways, Leeds. We're Leeds. 5th on the table right now, barely scraped by. Somehow avoided relegation last year. 17th place, 36 points, 38 points, I believe. Only losses to Brighton. They beat Chelsea 3-0. Just go crazy.
Yeah, Leeds have actually been the most surprising team this season. Like with Brighton, they always look good, but never like end up being that great. Leeds, I don't think anybody expected them to be good this season, especially after losing players like Rafinha and Calvin Phillips, who are their 2 top players, and then also still like their striker injuries still being a big effect to how they're playing. Leeds have been really good this season, especially guys like Brendan Aronson, especially in that Chelsea game. He looked fantastic with his pressing, and Jesse Marsch's pressing football style. It really helps him a lot. Also, big shout out to Tyler Adams and Mark Rucka in that midfield. They've been sensational since they've came on.
Ron and I did want to talk about the Americans on Leeds.
Yeah,
Especially Tyler Adams, like he just mentioned.
They've spent smart. I mean, they let go of Rafinha for a lot of money, but they brought in Aronson, who Jesse Marsch knows. They've coached together at Red Bull Salzburg, so he's been playing well. Adams has been playing well, and Marsch has a team playing good. They're like the Bielsa system from last year, but conceding way less, and I think they're just playing smarter, which is one thing that they were missing. Rodrigo is off to a fantastic start. He had a great start last year, I believe. He has 4 goals right now and 1 assist. And if they get Bamford back and they keep playing the same way that they are now, they really could challenge for Europe next season.
That's a bit debatable, but
that's a big step from 17 to
yeah, I
Europe.
still think there's teams in between like West Ham and Newcastle. So, but they aren't very far off. I'd say they're definitely top half of the table quality if they continue this run.
West Ham did it a couple years ago. West Ham finished 3 years ago, I believe they finished 17th, 16th, and then the next season they were 5th. They were into Europa League. So I think it's just a change of system can get you there if you like they did, spend it properly, and maybe they've still got some more spending to go with 4 days left.
I mean, when you bring up West Ham, they obviously have a bigger transfer budget than Leeds. Leeds, I want to say, is dead last in the league. I think the total wages is under £25 million.
Yeah, something around there.
If you could talk about a team who's looks like they're gonna fall off, I think Leeds is going to be the number one example because they've started really they're not gonna beat Chelsea again on the reverse. Chelsea has to. Well, I don't want to say has to, but like Chelsea should pick
win
up for him. I don't see Leeds keeping it up.
I honestly feel like they're one quality center back away from being a top team. Because if they can get somebody to fill that they do have center halves, but like none of them are like top tier. If they can get a top tier guy there, they are honestly, in my opinion, they're set.
Yeah, that's kind of like the safety that they needed. Like we said, Adams and Roca has been playing great, but if they have one center back who can be the leader back there and make sure that those two center defensive mids feel safe, then I think Leeds can take that next level. And like I said, they could. I don't think it's too bad to say that they can finish 7th or 8th this year.
Manchester United. Ezra, you are a City fan. I let you do that. I let you make the highlights. I knew you were drooling at the fact that you could make United low lights. They started out 0-2. Should have beat Brentford. Like they should not have lost 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0, especially with the goals that they conceded. Oh my God, that was really hard to watch.
Brighton's look nice, so we'll give them a pass for that. We'll let it slide. They got Casemiro. No, we have to let it slide because Brighton is 4th place right now. Like we have to understand that like they should have beat them obviously, but looking back, like it's not unrealistic.
Man United should be beating Brighton 9 times out of 10 though.
Yeah. And then they got Casemiro. They beat Liverpool. Turned it around, kind of.
Yeah.
Yes, recently. Ter Hag's been showing why he's the manager.
Yeah, he's been doing better recently. Obviously in the start it was always going to be hard for him adapting to the Premier League because it's a way different style of play than in Netherlands. The way they've been playing as of recent, they've looked a lot better. And I think that's due to Ten Hag making sure to pick the correct players to use for his team. Like Harry Maguire, he's not a bad player. I'm not going to say that now, but he is not a good fit for their system.
You'll say it later.
He's not a great fit for their system when they're running a 2-back or like a 2 center back thing. I think he'd be better as like a 3-back like in the center, but yeah, no. When they start running Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane as their center backs, they've looked way better.
Yeah, he's also showed now. I think now he's showing that you can get benched, which was a problem that Man United managers had the last couple seasons. Now, Ronaldo didn't want to be with this team because they didn't believe in them. Still doesn't, and he's gotten benched the last 2 games, right? Luke Shaw hasn't been playing well. Maguire haven't been playing well, and then they've got him benched. And now I think that's gonna lift the team in competition-wise in practice, and I think now they're gonna perform better going forward after that Liverpool win, which was their best game in over 2 years. So I think they beat Southampton, not their best performance, but away from home, and they got a result. So I think that they'll continue to take this. I don't think that they'll make top 4 still, but no. I think that they're going to be playing better, and I think it's setting up the foundation for a couple years from now.
Yeah, Manchester United, are they going to keep up this good form? Probably not. Like, it's scary with them because they're also an injury away from going right back to where they were in the beginning of the season. And like I said, the beginning of the season, losing 4-0 to Brentford is really ugly on them, because especially some of the blunders that Gea had that game, easy save, just knocked right into his own net. They're still a team that's like very risky and like can make many mistakes over the season.
Do you think it's still fair to assume they're playing in Europa? Because disappointing, obviously, but I don't see them not still making Europas.
Yeah, they'll barely make it by the skin of their teeth, but they are going to make it at the end of the day. There's not a team below them that's really still close to them. I believe the top 6 is very narrowed off to like specifically 6 teams, and then there's a major gap in between 7th, in my opinion. So even with how bad United's been, I still think they're going to make something like that.
Yeah, they'll pick up points. They're not. I don't think the top 5. I think, like he was saying, there's a gap, but I think there's even a gap between the top 5 teams. I don't think Man United is close to Spurs or Arsenal at the moment. The way they've been playing, I think they'll still make Europa just because they have the players, right? Like they just got the new players. They might be getting Anthony, so Man United will pick up points against the teams that they should, but I don't think that they can get any higher than 6th place this year.
I agree.
We're gonna go across Manchester. Haaland.
He has been so good for us this season. Obviously, in 4 games, he's had 7 goal contributions, 6 goals, 1 assist. Second half hat trick against Crystal Palace on the weekend, and he's just been great for us. Like, he's been that goal threat that we need. Like, we've always been a team that scores a lot of goals, as Manchester City is with Pep's system, but it's mainly through our midfield. It's never one specific person. Like, the last time we've had that was obviously Sergio Aguero, and it's good to finally have another guy like that to build our team up back to fighting for Champions League and being the champions of the Premier League.
Yeah, and just they're just so versatile with it now. I mean, like Haaland he's fast, he can get a header, he's strong too, so he can out-muscle defenders. So Haaland just gives him that definite, for De Bruyne, that definite last ball for De Bruyne, Silva, that if they need to score here, have the ball and just take a shot. And most of the time he will score, because at Dortmund he had a positive goal-to-game ratio. At Salzburg, so he had also a positive goal-to-game ratio. So at Man City, it's looking great for them, especially when they have talented passers like Silva, Gundogan, and
Especially De Bruyne.
Oh,
So-
he's so good.
Real quick, Mo Salah. Disappointment. Liverpool has been playing good, but Mo Salah, shaky at best, I guess. He's Golden Boot winner last year. He really shouldn't be struggling like this right now. Real quick, and then we're gonna go to your little argument at the end. So,
When Mane left, last year, the second half of the season, he didn't perform good, right? Mane was kind of the star of that team. And I thought Mane leaving would open up that space for Salah, because Mane was playing striker, which caused Salah to have to move out to the wide, which he likes to cut in and score. And now this year, he hasn't been able to do good like how you expect. You expect him to be a main figure of this team. He does have 2 goals, but I would expect more from Salah after Mane left. I would expect him to step up and be the star of the team.
Yeah, I agree. Even with Salah's goals that he has scored, it hasn't been great. I know one of them was off of Fabio Carvalho's shot, and he was just already near the goal, so it wasn't like anything spectacular. He's not creating goals for himself that well anymore. He doesn't have a second guy to bounce off of with like how Mane used to be. Like, obviously, they have guys like Luis Diaz, but I still think Salah still needs somebody of like really, really high quality as Mane to.
he needs a partner in crime, because he did poach that one goal that you mentioned. He has scored a lot of goals off penalties, but he needs in open play, infield, he does need that little.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help, I'd say. There's going to be guys that score goals next to him, but there's not really many guys that are going to help him score goals specifically.
It's time. Ezra, wearing a City jersey. Ron, Real Madrid jersey. We have to Champions League draw. You guys can argue. I'm going to instigate. Just go. You know the drill.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, obviously, just winning the Champions League this year, it's going to be us again. I mean, I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. We just beat you guys last year, and we've got better. We got Rudiger now, who was a top 3 center back in the Premier League last year. We still have the same team. Vinicius Jr. is taking another step, and Benzema is still the best player in the world at the moment. So I think that makes us just better. And, Man City just doesn't have experience in the Champions League to win it. They haven't proven that they can get in a game against us at our house or against a big team at their house and just completely outperform them and then win a game like they should.
Yeah, I can't disagree with y'all being the best team in the world last season, but we have improved as well. Like, our improvements, I would say, stand out a lot more because we've got that consistent goal threat now in Haaland, like I brought up earlier. With Haaland being there, it helps us late game wise, especially because like we can create our own goals, but like if a couple players aren't necessarily having the best of games, it just is nice to have that guy to go to at the end of the game, especially with Haaland. So it's either like you're going to defend Haaland or you're going to try to defend their entire midfield. I don't think you're going to be able to defend both, and I think that's going to make us unstoppable this season, and I can't see why we don't win it this year.
Right, and even though we beat you guys, I mean, they had so many chances last season against us. The first leg and both the second leg too. You guys, I believe if you guys had Haaland last year, you probably would have beat us just because how many chances you had, how many misses you had from Foden, from Mahrez, from Grealish. He had 2 big ones in the second.
Not to mention he got saved off the line by Ferland Mendy.
Right, but even that, we still got European heritage, 14 times champions compared to how many do you have?
That doesn't matter necessarily.
Yeah, if he pulls up the numbers, it's over. That is all for segment 1. Coming up next, NFL. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cowboys versus Giants. Why? Because I am a New York Giants fan and I want my first pick of the week to be my team. I see an upset for the New York Giants this Sunday. Bet your entire savings, and I'm telling you right now, they're gonna win. I don't care what you say. It's gonna happen.
I have to go with the Raiders, I think, for this one. I don't see them losing.
Welcome back. It is now time for our primetime picks of the week, the best segment. I'm currently doing awful, standing at 16-10, Oklahoma State and Texas. I'm going Texas 35-27.
All right, Jeff, don't tell me your winner, but who is going to the Super Bowl?
The New England Patriots
Oh my gosh. Oh my
God.
gosh.
and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
God.
The
Oh
NFL
my
is
God.
gonna the NFL is gonna make it happen.
Welcome back. NFL, Kellie, old host of Girls on Deck. She knows the drill. Cole, debut. Introduce yourself.
So I'm Cole, new here, happy to be on the show.
Hold the mic.
I'm new here, happy to be on this show. Excited to be part of the HTF family. Ready to talk some football.
Hi. Also, hey, welcome. Cameron told me not to scare anyone today, so I'll be trying my best not to do that if I don't get crossed. So, how are you doing, Cameron?
I'm doing good. I'm always ready to talk football. Starts next week, I think. So,
NFL, yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm
Whoa.
not wearing a college jersey. Sorry.
All right. Sorry.
It is a passing league. We're talking quarterbacks. Not typical rank them. We're gonna go. I like, as you guys know, tiers. We have top dogs. Tier 1. They have done it before, and we're penciling them in for playing in late January. And then we have just a step away. A little something's holding them back, whether it be the loss of a weapon. Like personally, to me, Aaron Rodgers losing Devontae Adams. He is still Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, that's a top 3 receiver that you're losing. We have glass half full, a quarterback who people are going to consider mid, kind of. New system, new weapon, something you're optimistic on. We got pessimistic and glass half empty. Too many question marks, hot seat, just not straight up not good. So first off, Josh Allen. Kellie,
Hey.
just a step away for Josh Allen. Cole, top dog.
He's a top dog.
Say it to the mic, bro. Look in the camera and tell Kellie why she's wrong.
He is a top dog. I don't know if you watched those playoff games last year. That Chiefs, I've probably seen that fourth quarter of the Chiefs game 8 different times.
I was watching it this morning, actually, so yes, I've spent some time.
What else, do you want from a quarterback? He can run, he's fast, he's bigger than most people on the field. He has an arm that can probably outthrow anyone other than maybe Herbert, but I'd probably pick Allen. And then, I don't know. There's literally nothing he can't do. I think he needs to improve a little bit on accuracy, and he would be the best QB in the league.
Why am I wrong? I agree with him with Josh Allen.
No, I agree with you. But at the same time, Josh Allen's kind of an MVP candidate. I agree that I don't think he's in the conversation with Brady, Mahomes.
Okay, can
if
anyone
that's
be
the
in the
top 2.
conversation with Brady?
Aaron Rodgers won back-to-back MVPs.
I think Mahomes is the best QB in the league. So
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah,
I
Rodgers
was talking
for what we're talking about.
yeah.
Who was your fourth? You had 4, Cole.
I had Aaron,
Okay, Aaron, yeah.
Aaron Mahomes, Brady, and Josh Allen. I would actually put Josh Allen as the worst of those 4, but he's still way better than everybody else.
I'm honestly just tired of talking about Tom Brady. And I think we talk about Tom Brady every single year. Okay, surprise. Guess what? He's good again. Oh, my God. Woo.
He's he's doing like 45 years old, man.
Right,
Still a
exactly.
young
He
one.
just got, he's one of the only people I've ever seen just take a break from camp because he wanted to take a break for whatever reason.
Is this why I repeat the fact that he's 45 years old?
Right, but that's what I'm just saying. Like, why do we need to talk about him? We know he's going to be good.
Because he's the greatest of all time. Anyways, we're just going to, Tom Brady's the GOAT. Anyways, Derek Carr. I'm glad all three of us are in agreement here. Optimistic on Derek Carr.
Yeah, I think he could be an MVP candidate this year. He is.
No.
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 He's gonna have chemistry with Devontae. He's really good. If you look like his stats, he was top 5 in passing yards, and if you look at the other 4 like QBs, was it Mahomes, Herbert, Brady, and I forget who the 4th was in that top 5 passing yards. But Derek Carr by far has the worst team around, or last year had the worst team around him and was still able to finish top 5. I could see him taking another leap this year. Finally, a good coach. I don't think Gruden was helping him very much. He hasn't had any consistency over his career. I think he is really good, way better than people expect him to be.
I love Derek Carr, but MVP candidate, and he's at best the 3rd best quarterback in his division.
He just happens to be in a really tough division.
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, same story with Derek Carr. He's kind of just, I mean, he's coming off of like 2 of his most efficient seasons that he's had in his NFL career, so that's like something to look forward to. And he is going back with one of his like college go-tos. Wow, can I speak today? No, I can't. So that's going to be interesting to see if that chemistry that they had in college is like there again in the NFL. And if it is, I think that's something that we can discuss in the future. Like, but I don't think anywhere close to an MVP. Like if you're Brady's the GOAT, you can't put Derek Carr remotely close to.
I'm not saying he's as good as Brady or Mahomes
That's
or
like the whole
Aaron.
point of MVP. Most valuable
No,
player.
because MVP is one season. I'm not saying. I don't think in the playoffs will be as good.
While Tom Brady's in the NFL, I don't ever see Derek Carr performing.
Like
better
I
than
would
him.
say last year, it kind of towards the end it evened out. But like Kyler Murray was in like leading the MVP race throughout the first 3 quarters of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on that level, but he was still an MVP candidate. Like
Right.
it's just how they played that season, and I think with this team, he's going to be a lot better, and he's going to get a lot of press about him. He's going to have a lot of fans. I think he could be. I don't think he will be MVP. I think he'll be an MVP candidate.
No, disagree. Hard disagree.
We'll see.
I'm always high on Derek Carr. Last year going into the season, I thought he was going to be top 10. I feel as if, not proven right, but I feel vindicated that he did step up. And now he gets Devontae Adams. That's a top 3 receiver in the league. It's chemistry or no chemistry, the deep balls he was throwing to Henry Ruggs, who we're not going to talk about that, Zay Jones, Brian Edwards, and now like he's going to throw those back shoulder fades to Devontae Adams.
Right.
He's
But
by Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is 31 years old.
Doesn't matter.
When did him and Devontae get out of college? How old are you, Cameron?
22.
Right. Long time ago. So that chemistry might be a little off. You know how chemistry fades throughout the years. You know how that goes.
You don't think they'd be talking? You don't think they'd be keeping in contact?
Right, but like, do
I
they
think-
practice with each other for the last?
I think Devontae signed with them for a reason.
He'd sign for Derek Carr.
Yeah.
100%. Right, but I'm just saying you can't expect the chemistry to like be fully what it was in college. Can you hope for that? Yeah, that would be great. It would be awesome for Raiders fans. They haven't really gotten close. Right, I know, but like they're not gonna finish to the Super Bowl. Like that's the end goal. That's the end goal, and it's kind of been a while. So, because that's the whole thing.
Yeah, but like one team wins it a year. I feel as if personally, as a fan of really bad teams, the end goal being the Super Bowl and it's being Super Bowl or bust is not a good. You're wearing a Dolphins jersey, like you know.
Yeah, it's the goal for the top like 8 teams in the league. If we make the playoffs this year, I'm calling it a success of a year. Like.
Well, that's because you guys are fans of really sad teams. That makes sense why it feels like a
I want to hear what teams you are.
actually not
'cause
wearing
are
a
you
Giants
Are you a
jersey.
Giants fan, or are you a Panthers fan, or are you a Titans fan?
I am anyone who went to a Penn State fan. So, but you knew that, and that's what I tell everyone. I'm very, very transparent about that. So.
Or Liberty.
Anyways, I feel like we have other quarterbacks to talk about.
Russell Wilson in
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah. That's honestly, I was talking with Hannah Jo about this earlier because Hannah, I know you're excited. That's your baby. And now he's at the Broncos, and she's very excited about that. And
you're not. You're glass half empty.
Really?
okay, so I was going back and forth between him and Derek Carr on the glass half full, glass half empty thing. But Russell's like, he's coming off, he struggled with injury last year. So that's something you have to think about. But then in the same sense, he has people like Jerry Jeudy. And obviously, I'm going to Penn State name drop. KJ Hamler's coming back this year, and I really want to see him be successful in the league. And if Russ is healthy and can do that, he has a lot of like deep threats he could be successful with. So, I mean, what do you think about Russ?
I have him on that tier below those top dogs. I think like he possibly could have been a top dog a couple years ago after those Super Bowls. He's not there anymore, but I don't know. I've found some stats. He leads the league since he's gotten in the league. He leads it in fourth quarter point differential, which I think is a really like telltale stat.
Like huge to look at too last year is even though he was kind of injured last year, he still had 3,113 yards, 25 passing TDs, and only 6 interceptions. And like 6 interceptions, that's really good.
He's really. I love watching him because he'll just do the little run around in the backfield for 30 seconds and throw it up, and it seems like he's just throwing it up, but it always finds Tyler Lockett somewhere. Like he really is. He can just make plays out of nothing. He also is a smart QB. Like other than Tom Brady, I think he could be one of the most football IQ QBs.
Right. And I think honestly, like why I put glass half empty was because just the effect Seattle's had on him in his career the past few years. I think he really can be successful, but honestly, something that stains my memory is going to be that Super Bowl a couple years ago when they decided to run for some reason.
Yeah, but that wasn't
throw. Excuse me.
That was Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, I really like as Russell Wilson, I feel like that has to affect you mentally as well. So
I mean, Marshawn Lynch was kind of like really not good in the goal line that entire postseason. I want to say inside the 5, I think it was like 1.5 yards per carry. That's obviously off the top of my head, but he was. If you look at the stats in hindsight, obviously at the moment you're like, what are they doing? If you look at the stats, there's some reasoning behind it.
When the Super Bowl is on the line, you have like 5 seconds left or however much time it was.
Was it 3rd and goal then?
I believe it was.
So they would have had one more play.
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
They would have gone
this game before I came.
But I don't know. Other than that, I think if you look at like his team from last year, it was probably his worst team he's ever had.
No running
especially
back.
Offensive linemen and running back. This year, Denver's got a solid O-line. Javonte and Melvin, he's got 2 better running backs than he had 1 last year. Wide receivers, a little bit of a downtick, but Sutton and Jeudy are still some very good receivers.
And I don't think we've seen Jeudy at his best either. So if Russ can work with him, I think it would be really successful.
That is all the time we have. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Ezra and Ron. Debut over. We're good. No show next week, Labor Day weekend. I'm going to the State Fair in Minnesota. I'm going to eat whatever on a stick. See you in 2 weeks. Bye, guys. Wraps.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats.